it is important that you not be distracted when you're building your company. So you don't want to be taking meetings with VCs, in my estimation, unless you're raising. And a great way to handle this is to say, we're not currently raising. We don't have time to meet because we're busy building, but we plan on raising in Q4 of next year. A good time for us to talk would be Q3. Then if you neg them like that, they're going to be 10 times more interested. I will give a caveat here. There are nefarious people who are doing this in an automated fashion, and they're just spamming anybody with a Crunchbase profile, an AngelList profile, on some list. And so you will get spam, and you will get people who look like investors who are maybe trying to sell you something, real estate, maybe they're a broker. If you can't figure out who this firm is and who the person is, they don't have a LinkedIn page, they don't have a profile page, just throw it away. Don't even respond. If it's a legitimate firm and you can say, hey, they have these other investments that are interesting, great, but do not give any information. And you can say, I'm too busy to meet, but this is a good time for me to meet. Now you have ball control. And, that is like super important. You have pot control in, a poker game, in a poker hand, you have ball control in a football or basketball game. You're kind of controlling this conversation, and you're the founder. You have to understand you are the precious resource in this, not the investor. The investors are a commodity. I'd say 70% of investors do not add any value. And in some cases, they detract value.
The Vinod Khosla argument. Yeah.
Vinod Khosla has said this many times. And so the top 10% of investors, they can be very helpful. I can be very helpful. Sequoia can be very helpful. Chamath, Sachs can be very helpful. There are specific people, Steve Jurvetson, very helpful. Brad Gerstner, Altimeter, when he dips into privates. These people can be very helpful for obvious reasons. They have incredible networks, and they, if you can get through their filter, become a real validation for your startup that they would take the time with one of their bullets or one of their bets to place it on you. Fantastic. But these are going to generally be unknown firms, unknown quantities. So therefore you stack them. And then what I would do back when I was an entrepreneur, I'd say, well, we're based in Santa Monica. I'm not meeting with people, but I will have time, 2 months from now in this week. If you want to stop by for coffee, to have a quick coffee, for 30 minutes, I can do it in February. And so it was December now. I'd say, yeah, second week in February, boom. And I would just, again, back to getting ball control. And I'd say, thanks for your interest. We're not raising right now, but this is when I can meet and I would make them come to my office. They say, oh, can we jump on a Zoom? I'd say, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that.
And how popular was that?
I was able to raise the Series B before I launched the company, famously, and was able to raise $20 million in a time when that was a lot of money and significant to raise. I had a really good idea, really good execution. So this is the best advice I have.
Being a founder is a lot of work. You have to focus on your fundraising. Then you got to hire the perfect team. Gosh, product market fit, finding your first customers. But all of this means nothing if you're not actually a real business that's structured properly, giving your investors and clients the confidence to partner with you at launch. We're constantly recommending Northwest Registered Agent to our founders because for just $39 plus state fees, they will act as your registered agent. That means they take care of all the paperwork, making sure your business remains compliant, protecting your privacy, and more. And as a founder, hey man, there are so many organizational odds and ends that you have to worry about, so why not have a partner who can focus on all those little details? Then you can obsess about your customers. And Northwest Registered Agent is even going to help you set up a phone line, a professional email account, and find you a great domain name. So here's your call to action. Go to northwestregisteredagent.com/twist to get your company set up the right way.